Okay. And how many have raced 1 year? And how many 2 years?
1 year at a time.
Okay. And then the rest are, old hats. So, just curious where we're at. Old hats? Yeah. So, first of all, we talked about the real basics here. So there's our playground. So the first thing to know, hopefully most of us know this, the current goes that way. But what happens late in the year? Does the current go this way? It can. And I always get a kick out late in this the year when the rivers got really low. And I always say to people on the boat that I'm on, watch, everybody's going to be late to the start. But the point here is, go out early, get to know how much current there is, go hang around the start buoy, see how much you're drifting, and take a couple practice starts at the start to get a feel for the current. Because I guarantee it, every year, the first race when the river's really low, people are like a minute late. And I'm talking about the J24 fleet. So, and as far as current, it's changed over the years, but it used to be, the basic rule is deep water, middle of the river, you get into more current. Along the edges, you get out of the current, right? It's kind of changed a little bit, how the bottom's changed over the years. And if anybody's got observations here, think I'm full of crap, tell me. And we'll, because so one thing that's happened is this area right here, I've seen boats run aground all the way out here. And it used to be, in the old days, you round buoy 2, and you crawl up this shore to get out of the current. And these days, I don't think that's so much the case. It seems like there's no big payoff going away in the shore because it's so shallow all the way out here now. And I think there's some kind of sandbars that run this way. And it's kind of silted in behind here. And you can see sometimes a current line right over here. And that's the river coming down and bouncing over that bar there. So the point here is, if you're going downwind, which we do a lot, is you don't have to bang the sides anymore. I think it's almost more important to play the wind, where getting more velocity than current. The wind's more important. Up here, where's the wing at? Right there. So I'll stay in this area. So along here, you get more channels over here. It's deeper, more current. Over here is the shallower water. I have this weird theory of when you round 2. I don't know how true this is, but it's a theory. Is I don't like to point the bow into here because I think current comes like this at you. I don't know if it's true. In this section, what you see is the current is pretty strong in this section of the river, and then you find it tries to split. So it tries to split, and you'll get a big chunk of current going this way, and you get another bunch of current trying to split off and come down this way. So this is a low current area here, kind of all this. This is the wing dam. So here's 42nd Boat Ramp Street, and obviously this is a very advantage to be in here out of the current. A lot of current comes ripping along through here, crosses the river here. But anyway, so that's another section to look for. But
Can you point out that there is a wind dam there, even if it's not marked with the probably stuff?
here,
Yeah.
oh, you can't see it. Yeah. So let's see.
I was walking along there today.
Yeah.
You can't see the wind dam at all except a little curve. And there was a Ericsson 29 stuck on it.
Oh.
I think it was red.
Ah, that sounds good. So
He got off though, I saw him later.
yeah. Let's see here. You got to kind of get pretty close to this shore to get out of the current here. The main spot's right down the middle, kind of right through here. So. Okay, we can talk about more of that later. So the other thing that I think is kind of interesting is wind. This time of year, we're going to get more weather systems, the southerlies. So the wind's going to come this direction through here, and that's when we have to go across the river, do the short tacks across the river. And kind of the thing, if we're at R, which is, where's R, right here? So if we're starting there, we're going to come across, and the buoy's going to be somewhere in this area. And when you're sailing that way, basically you're just looking up, and you're going to see big puffs rolling off the shore here, or it's going to come this way. But basically the wind's fighting going around the island, and so sometimes you get a shift here, and sometimes you get a shift here. And it's just looking up, seeing what's coming. Then the other normal summer conditions, we have the northwest winds. It's coming this way. And what I think happens a lot is the wind is trying to follow the river. Okay? So the predominant wind direction, if we took out all the land and the river and just had the straight plains here, I think would be kind of like this direction here. Okay? But since the wind tries to follow the least path of resistance, it's trying to follow the river, and so we get a lot of wind coming across this way. And then what happens is when it gets up here, the wind can't keep bending, it kind of gives up, and therefore all of a sudden it comes to that true direction that it's trying to go. Does that make sense? So you get a big shift this way here, because the river's just bending too much. It can't keep following that the least path of resistance. So come off the start, port tack, lift, play the shifts, up here. Coming down here, expect to shift this way. Yeah. So that's pretty common. As far as things to avoid, look at the big land masses, the trees here. If the wind's coming pretty far out of the northwest and you're going downwind, it gets light in here because the wind's trying to pick up over the top of the trees. If you get too close to shore here, you can lose wind if it's too far northwest, because these buildings are, where are those buildings? Oh, they're right here. Where is the,
Where's the Vancouver boat?
I don't know why this looks different. Okay. Yeah, where's McMinimans?
Where's the boat?
Yeah, it is too small, I can't see them. But anyway.
They still got Navy ships in that photograph.
Okay, I'm going to move on. we can come back to that more if we have time. So, so what I thought would be kind of fun is I'll go over the do's and do nots. These are the things that I have learned over the years, so hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes. So, okay, don't hit that. Yeah, yeah. Check that anchor line off the bow there. So, okay. So before the start, it's a good idea to get out and sail the course in miniature. So what I mean by that is, a little bit of practice. Don't go all the way to the weather mark and go the whole course, but do the course in miniature. So you actually do a spinnaker set, and it'd be preferable that you do it. Be aware of the current. So you do the course in miniature, sometimes upriver. So people don't put the spinnaker up early, and then they find out they have mistakes when the actual race happens. So it's a good idea to practice before, so you don't end up like this.
It's like going around.
Yeah, and I think they actually decided to sail the whole race with it like that. So what you do want to do is develop a strategy before the race, and even though your strategy may be completely wrong, at least you had one, right? So just, the strategy is your plan without the absence of other boats. So you basically, I think there's more wind on the right side of the course, there's current on the right side, I'm going to start, I'm going to go right and around the weather mark, I'm going to look for less current on the Oregon side, develop a strategy, just so you have an idea what you want to do. Don't get too far from the starting areas, practice up current of the committee boat. Too often you get down river and the wind dies, and then the race committee starts blowing horns and you're kind of screwed. So check out which end of the line is favored. Here's my guy developing his strategy. So figure out which end of the starting line is favored, but also it's not just which end's favored, which direction you want to go. So, maybe the pin is way favored, but you really need to get right and you don't want to get pinned over there. So, kind of develop that strategy where other boats are. Take some practice runs at the start. That'll help you get used to the current. And especially I have problems because I jump around on different boats a lot, and so I'll be on a Melges 24 one day and I'm way early to the start, then I'm on a Cal 20 the next time and I'm way late to the start. So having those practice times, and a good thing is, one of my strategies is before the start, I will start surveying the crew and ask each person how long they think it takes to get to the line. And one person will say a minute, another person will say a minute and a half, another person will say 30 seconds, and then I kind of average it out, and that's how long it takes me to get to the line. And it usually works. Here's one of the things I tried was there was no wind, and I thought there was going to be no wind on the race course, so I had a leftover pony keg. I put in my Santan 20 down in the cockpit and took it out. And I passed out beer to everybody at the start line before, which is great because you become everybody's hero. Gets the competition in a good mood. But the problem is then the wind came up and we actually had to race. But beer actually made good non-skid on the boat. It was spit beer, so. And the scary part, that was my best race ever. Everybody could accuse us of getting them drunk before the race, but I guarantee you we had more. So, starts. Know who you're starting next to and know their strange characteristics of those people. Does that make sense? So what I mean by that is, you know, if somebody's out there brand new and they don't know how, you know, don't go out there just yelling at them, you know, lure coming up, you know. Just get out of the way, because it's probably going to mess you up more than, you know, if you start yelling at them, it's just going to confuse them more. And if you're in a lured boat and you start yelling at them, they're probably just going to bear off on you because they don't know what to do, right? So they're going to screw you over. So be nice, and kind of, you know who's around you and how you're going to deal with it. Here's one of my don'ts. Don't start to lure to Bill Hughes me. When you want to go right, and before getting stuck to lured, and therefore getting stuck to lured, while the whole fleet tacks to the right, putting you and Bill in, puts you and myself and Bill fighting out for last place in the weather mark. So, which brings me to my next one. Too bad Bill's not here. Don't get caught up in small battles, but instead position yourself with your overall strategy. Bill had it out for me that night. Okay. Going upwind. Get your head out of the boat. And I don't mean the toilet. I mean you're, looking around, and have the crew looking for puffs and so forth. And get all the crew involved. Most people don't have fun just sitting on the rail, okay? We try to get new people out there, and a lot of times we just have people, we expect them to do our command, and they run back and forth, but they're not involved in the race, and we need to get those people involved. And it makes it more fun, and gets those people to come back. So, you can get people involved by calling puffs, shifts, traffic, sail trim, boat trim. And crew, don't gossip about who slept with who at the office, but try to keep it, engaged in what's actually happening on the race. It's very distracting for a skipper to be listening about somebody sleeping with somebody. So.